Hey there, Rich Hillo, Straightforward Wealth Management. How are you? I just had a conversation with a client about retirement and how to retire. And it's something that I tell people all the time. I got my adult beverage. Why don't you grab one, grab a cup of coffee. Let's talk a little bit about how smart people, when they retire on dividends, not interest. When people come in and they tell me they don't want to spend their principal, they want to leave it to their kids or charities or a combination of the two. They talk about just living off interest. Well, to me, technically, it's difficult. Interest rates on, let's say, CDs, right? It's like if you look at the last 50, 100 years, the way that they've been recorded, it's like an EKG. You look at it and you go, well, back in the 70s, it was 16%. I mean, that's how I learned how to invest. Made enough money in the blizzard of 78 in Worcester, Mass. And put my money in a 14% CD. Have you seen any of those lately? No. That same CD now is paying like 0.75%. And it varies up and down. The 16% was an anomaly. But, somewhere between 0.75% and 6%. Those people that put them in a CD in 2007 and 2 years later were looking at their CDs going, where do I put my money now? How do you plan a retirement based on that? Well, if you look at dividends, you have to own a stock. And if you own a share of stock, dividend-paying companies, the larger companies like the Procter & Gamble's and Johnson & Johnson's of the world, pay you cash for being a shareholder. And if you look at these big, strong, boring companies, they have increased their dividends 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 years running, where it starts here and just continues to grow. So you get a pay raise for owning the share without even trying. The average dividend for the S&P 500 is a little over 4%. Say over the past 100 years. If you look at CDs, the average CD rate is down at 2, and it fluctuates like this. Smart people will take a look at their portfolio and arrange it for their income, because retirement, all we're doing is replacing income, and you want to make as much money off those investments as you can within your risk tolerance. And again, they have to be appropriate for you. But I prefer to put my money into a Procter & Gamble or a Johnson & Johnson or an AT&T and have my income rising. It's not guaranteed. It's just historical. Than to put my money in something where I get this rate and not know 3 years later if the rate's going to be in the basement and I'm not even going to be able to live off that money, or if it's going to be up a little higher. So that's a conversation that I have with clients all the time when I talk about retirement and positioning assets. What's in their portfolio? What are they investing in? We have that conversation because we need to know what kind of income you need, how much money we have to replace when you stop working. And in most cases, dividends enter because it's typically higher and more consistent. Again, talk to your financial advisor, contact me, and we can have a more intense conversation. But at the end of the day, even Warren Buffett says smart people retire on dividends. I hope that was helpful. Until next time, cheers.